Hello and welcome to this video coming to you from the Black Mountains in Wales. As you can see, I'm already in my tent, so I'm just going to give you a bit of a rundown of the trip up here, show you the views and show you some of the new kit I'll be trying out on this camp. So this video is a little bit unusual in that I'm already pitched and sitting in my tent to talk to you. I'd normally introduce you to the video just as I begin my walk, but I'm here today with my friend Luke. We've parked up about 5.5 miles away from where we are now in our tents, and we've had a really good walk up here. So it's in the middle of November now, the colours are all changing. We've been walking through woodland, walking along the streams. We stopped by a little hermitage on the way, which is a little building that was used for all sorts really. Even in the First World War it was used to house German prisoners of war, believe it or not. We had the plan of heading up to Penygada'r tonight. It is one of the, I think it's the 5th highest mountain in the Beacons, and it stands at 800 metres. Looking at the forecast for tonight, the wind was meant to be fairly wild up there, and the temperature with the wind chill was due to hit -7 Celsius. So we weren't quite sure if that was the best place to aim for, and with a couple of delays getting here as well, we ran out of time really to get right up to the summit. So instead of going up to Penygada'r, we have called it quits partway up Waenvach. We are not too far away from the summit of Waenvach. We've just found a little spot that's tucked away enough from the wind, but as you can maybe see from my flapping tent here and hear from the wind around me, it's not the stillest of nights, so it's not too bad at all. The wind is generally averaging sort of high teens, sort of 18, 19 miles an hour, and the gusts are getting up to just under 30 miles an hour. But the wind is meant to drop off between now and the morning, so hopefully we're not going to be in for too rough a night. If I just swing you around this way, you can see that the sun is, the sunset was about 3/4 of an hour ago now. It's around about 5 PM now, so that is the central Brecon Beacons, or the Banau Brecaniog over there, and we were just looking over at Penavon and Corndee, and yeah, it was a really stunning view to watch the sun drop down behind that mountain range. Sounds like the wind's picking up a little bit again. So as I said, I have a few new bits of kit to try out on this camp. I'll show you the first one. That is going to be the Fire Maple Star X2 cooking system. If you haven't seen my quick review and wind test on this stove, I compared it to my MSR wind burner, so I'll leave a link in the description, and you can see how this 40-pound stove compares to my 125-pound MSR wind burner. I will also be trying this little orange gas lantern. Fire Maple sent me these products free of charge, just so you know. This is a little gas lantern. I'm looking forward to trying it out. You can see swinging up above me here is my Flextail Tiny Pump 2X, which I take on basically every camp, but I really wanted to try a little gas flame lantern just for something different, and it brings a little bit of a different vibe to a camp. I've seen in other people's videos that have a little flame burning away. It looks really kind of cozy and relaxing, so I will try that out soon. That wind is picking up again. As you might have been able to tell from the yellow interior here, I'm in my trusted Hilleberg Soulo once again. I haven't had this tent out for a while, but I know I can depend on it in wind like this, so yeah, what's another kilo when you want a bit of stability in the night. So item number 3, I've been quite indulgent, and I've bought myself a pair of insulated booties. These are the Montane Icarus booties, so they're a synthetic insulated bootie. And the idea is that they just keep your feet warm, and they also have a sort of rubberized sole as well on the underside, so you can walk around outside if you want to. Anyway, this wind is picking up, I'm getting hungry, so I'm going to fire up the Fire Maple Star X2 and I'll get my first meal on the go. And I'm also going to get these booties on, and I will see you in a bit. Meal number 1 is Wayfarer's spicy sausage pasta. I've been quite indulgent tonight. I've got 2 main courses. This is the first one, so it's time to get some water in my pot. and then dunk the boil in the bag food in the water. So with the food in the cook pot, it's just a case of turning on the gas now and then hit the button, because this stove has a piezo igniter. There we go. You might have been able to hear that the flame is struggling a little bit. That's because I've got my tent door still open and the wind is still over 15 miles an hour. At ground level, it sounds like it's just enough for the flame to stay lit. I did talk about this in my comparison video, so really this stove it seems like it's going to cook at anything up to maybe 10 miles an hour of wind, but anything above that, as with a lot of stoves, maybe the majority of stoves, you're going to need a windshield to keep the wind off the flame. So I'm going to shut my tent door now and let it cook a bit better. That water's boiled nicely now. It took about 5 minutes or so. It's actually quite useful having a wider pot. The Star X2's cooking pot is a little bit wider than the MSR wind burner, so I can really get the food to sit right down within my ½ litre of water I always put in for my ½ litre drinks bottle. So that's pretty convenient. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this to warm through, and I'll eat it in about 5 or 10 minutes. I can see that the stars are all starting to come out, so I'm going to take this camera, stick this outside so I can film a time lapse of the night sky to show you all a little bit later, and I'll switch to my other camera. I've had both my main courses now, and although I do have pudding with me as well, and hot chocolate, I don't really think I can be bothered heating the water again and sitting here eating and drinking. I think I'd rather just kind of wind down a bit and get ready for bed quite soon. But what I am going to do is give my little fire maple orange gas lantern a quick go before I go to bed. So I'll try and unwrap it all with one hand. Let me just get it out of the bubble wrap. Okay, here it is. So it's the orange gas lantern. You can choose different colours for the base here, and this is just going to screw straight onto my camping gas canister, so just give me a sec. So there it is, I've got it screwed onto the little gas canister at the bottom here, as you can see. There's a little cutout in the side here. You can just rotate this glass tube to reveal this little slot here, so all I'm going to do is poke my flame through that hole, and that will get the little lantern lit. So I'll turn the gas on. And then just regulate that back down to a nice small flame. Also going to just make sure I've got my tent ventilating a little bit. So here it is. This is the Fire Maple Orange Gas Lantern. I'm going to turn off my head torch so it doesn't hide the lantern so much. Look at that. Might make it... No, I was going to make the flame a bit smaller, but I can't feel any heat up near the fly sheet, so I don't really see much danger there at all. I've got my hand about 15 centimetres above the top of the glass tube now. So yeah, with my hand here it's fine, and of course the fly sheet is all the way up here. So I don't see any problems there at all. Just going to turn my head torch off again so you can see that. And I will turn off my little electric lantern here as well. And that's what you've got. That just gives a really warm, comforting, cosy kind of glow to the inside of the tent. I really like that. And because you can regulate the flame right down, it shouldn't get through too much gas either. So yeah, I like that. If you'd like one of these, I'll leave a link in the description with a discount code as well. If you'd like to buy one of those using my discount code, I will get a little bit of kickback, a little bit of commission. So it's up to you. You've seen how it works. I can see me bringing this on more camps actually. I quite like that. And I think it's probably time for me to wind down now. I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. It's around about 7:30 in the morning now. And as you can possibly tell from the colours on my jacket and my face, the sun is up. Luke and I have just been sitting in our tents watching it come up. Watch all the clouds drift over the central beacons over this way as well, all sort of skating away over towards the sun down there. And this valley keeps kind of filling up with cloud and then clearing again, giving us different views every few minutes. It's still quite cold. It's been consistently 3 or so degrees Celsius through the night. Drops down to about 2 Celsius and below once you come out in the wind. Wind was round about 15 to 25 miles an hour when we pitched up, and it dropped down to sort of 10 to 15 miles an hour through most of the night. Although I love this Hilleberg Soulo, as you can see from the top hat here, this little section that sits on top, it does flap around in even the gentlest of breezes. It just flaps away all night long really. It did make me miss my Terra Nova Southern Cross, which is just silent in the wind really, anything up to about, I don't know, I'm guessing now 15 miles an hour maybe. The Southern Cross just keeps quiet, lets you sleep, whereas this thing just flaps away to let you know it's all around you, keeping you safe and sound, but making a noise about it while it does so. This is looking over to the central beacons now. You can just see that cloud rolling across from right to left, piling its way out towards that sun. It's like the sun's a big vacuum cleaner. I didn't get loads of sleep last night, possibly 4 or 5 hours, something like that, mainly because the tent was keeping me awake rustling. But we've both had our hot breakfasts now, ready and warmed up to carry on up Wildcamping here, and then along the ridge over towards Penygada, which is maybe not quite as far as the sun, somewhere around here anyway. And Penygada is where we were going to camp last night. That stands at 800 meters. But it was sitting in the cloud for most of the night, so we did have quite a bit of cloud in the night once we'd sort of zipped up to go to bed, but yeah, while we were sitting out eating our food, Wildcamping and Penygada were in clouds. So although this wasn't our chosen spot last night, we did want to go further. This ended up being a better spot because we had all the views in the evening. And look at that view now as well. We wouldn't be able to see that from up on the top, so that's a double blessing really that we ended up down here. I'm walking around in my Montane Icarus insulated booties. I had them on all the way through the night. I thought I might as well try it. They kept my feet really warm. It looks like they are taking in a bit of moisture as I walk around on the grass here, but they do have sort of rubberized soles on them, so they protect your feet a bit from any sharp stuff, and maybe don't absorb as much water as they could, but they are by no means waterproof, I wouldn't say. My fire maple cooking system worked well again today. I thought the igniter had broken because I was trying to fire up the flame this morning. It didn't want to start, but that's just because it was so cold. So because the gas is below 5 Celsius at the minute, it just doesn't really love operating. But no, the stove still worked well as any gas cooking stove can in these temperatures really. And I enjoyed having my little fire maple orange gas lantern on in my tent last night. I had it on for about 20 minutes in the end, just glowing away, fills the tent with a nice yellowy orange light, which is actually really relaxing. And I just sat there with the fly sheet rustling away every now and then, and a little twinkling flame that was really quite relaxing. Look at that view, it's opening up once again. You can see down here the path we followed to come up the valley, and we actually crossed over onto the other side and then back again when we came up from the car yesterday. And you can just about see the ridge we're going to be walking up now. So we'll go all the way along the tops here, follow it around, and then drop down the far side here and head back to where we've parked. We've got our tents packed up now. We've cleared the site where we were, leaving no trace. It did take me about a quarter of an hour of Luke patiently holding all my stuff while it went all the way through everything I'd only just packed up, because I couldn't find the little GoPro tripod I'm holding now. And sure enough, I'd left it in my tent, which was fully wrapped up in its dry bag and everything, and yeah, had to dig that one out. Now we can continue on our way The valley has just filled up with mist once again, and that whole ridge that we're going to be walking along is completely clouded in, but it keeps changing every 10 minutes, so chances are in another 10 minutes we'll be able to see where we're going. We've got round about 8 miles back to the car now, and what was a 20 kilo backpack is hopefully now around about 18 with everything I've eaten and drunk out of it. So we will get shifting now and see you along the way. We've climbed up to the top of Weinvack now, and the views are really opening up. So the mist's all burning off now, and we've got the central beacons over here, and you can see that really scarred flank of Cribbin, and then the main Brecken's horseshoe is the bowl just over to the left of it. And just over here we've got Mynydda Lizii, if I'm pointing in the right direction, and just over here is where my previous camp was in June. And then I think this is Pencarreg up along the top, and then we've got the Sugarloaf almost directly below the sun over here, and then this is Penygada Vawr over here, which is where we're heading now. We've made it to the high point on our walk now. This is the summit of Penygada Vawr, which stands at 800 meters. So the views here are massive. I know I've just shown you some of this, but the Sugarloaf is a little bit clearer now right here. You've got the reflection of the water in the background, that's the Bristol Channel. And this is the Grynevecken Valley down at the bottom, so you can see the footpath that we followed all the way up there yesterday. And then we ended up camping round about here last night. If I just walk over here a little bit and look down, I'll zoom in a little bit to try and help you to see, but we've got the Grynevecken Reservoir right down at the bottom here. You can just about make out the dam wall. And we are going to continue our route past the forest down here and then drop back down. I think we have about 4 miles to go, something like that. But it's been a really good trip. It's been my first camp for 5 months, my first camp with Luke for a year, so it's been great to get back out. I think we've done about 2,000 feet of climbing, something like that, so it's definitely given the legs a bit of a workout as well, and it tells me I need to do a bit more work on my fitness to make these camps easier going forward. But yeah, that's the end of another trip. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Maybe think about subscribing if you'd like to see more of what I get up to, and I'll see you in the next one.